What's up, everyone? Welcome back to That Was Pretty Jolly. My name is Alex, and she is Deana, and I'm super excited to be here today with all of you. Deana, how are you?
I am cold.
Wait, no. Already? Like,
I have a flannel on.
do you have nice heat where you record in your studio there or no?
No, but
You
there's
don't
a
get good heat.
reason. There's a reason.
Okay, please
because
tell the crowd. By the way, if you guys don't know, I'm I'm Puerto Rican, lived in Jersey pretty much my entire teenage to almost adult life, and then now I live in North Carolina. But Deana is up in Jersey where it's always cold, even during summer.
No.
So why don't you go ahead and explain to the world why you don't have good heat down there?
I don't mean I don't have good heat as I don't get heat down here, because obviously the heat is great. But because this is the studio, there's guitars to my right, there's drum sets to my left, and there's electronics. I can't put the heat on blasting. Otherwise, that could be very dangerous, especially for the instruments.
Sure, we don't want any of that bad stuff to happen. So you have a computer, you have recording equipment. You're right.
I said instruments. Like, you totally left out the most important part, the instruments. Like, that can't get
fine. Instruments have lived through harsh
they
temperatures
can't. They
all
have
their lives.
They even have humidifiers. I have humidifiers in those bad boys.
No way, really?
Yes, because if they get too dry, they can warp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you do got guitars and all that stuff. Yeah.
Guitars. You have guitars.
Well, let me tell you something. Over there in Jersey, I think everyone has humidifiers down in their basements. No, it's not humidifiers. It's the other one.
They have dehumidifiers.
Dehumidifiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Well,
this is what you learn here, and that was pretty jolly.
It's too much.
The differences between a humidifier and a dehumidifier. But I'm so glad that all of you are here today. And thank you all who continue to listen and watch us on Gaghead and download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. We've been having a really fun time bringing you our perspective on all these films. And I'm thinking that by now I don't even need to explain to you guys that what we don't do here. Because if you've been listening and watching for this long, you already know that we're just two friends chilling, talking about Christmas movies, and we want to bring you along on that ride. And today, we get the chance to speak about a super classic from 1994.
Was it that far back?
We're not really good at math here.
No, I can count money, but that's about it.
Yes. So if you had $1,994, how far back was that? 29 years.
Oh, I thought you meant like, is that considered a lot of money? Because
I'm sorry,
right
30
now,
years,
no.
29. Listen to me. 30 years.
Yeah, it's 2024, genius.
Oh, Jesus. I'm still in 2020. All right, so 30 years ago, we had the Santa Claus. That's what we're going to be talking about today with the one and only Tim Allen. Mr.
How do you say
Naughty
the
Man.
Santa Claus in Spanish?
Santa Claus.
You sound like you're trying to sell something. Would you like to come to the Santa Claus?
we say Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Like, I don't know. Like, I know he has a proper name.
Are you hiccuping midway? Like, Santa Claus? Santa Claus?
Santa Claus. Mira, Santa Claus está ahí.
Is he coming at you with a claw? Because you don't say the claws.
Well, in the island, he does. If you don't behave, he comes at you. That sounds like a really bad, terrifying movie that Freddie should be talking about, and that was pretty scary.
Claus. Well, Santa
Claus coming at you with his claws when you misbehave.
Kids, come around the tree. The Santa Claus is coming.
Why
if you don't come here, I'm going to get the chancla.
That is totally not Latin. That's like you just mix Mario, some Russian dude, and I don't know what else, but yeah.
I mean, I wanted to make sure because I don't know who's listening and where they're listening from, so I'm reaching all perspectives.
I like that.
Yeah.
This is why you're here.
Multidiverse.
This is why we brought you on, because you are a diverse person who loves to just bring everyone on board on this magical holiday ride. Deana,
Shalom.
Before we get into it, when did you watch this movie, and do you remember it now as an adult? As was it as good? Did it hold up as much as you liked it as a kid? Like, when did you even watch it in the 90s?
Yes.
Did you even pick up the VHS and pop it into your VCR?
No, it was on TV. It was like one of those Christmas specials, because I think it's isn't it like Disney, right? It's Disney. I think.
Yes, it's Disney. Yeah.
And it was one of those Christmas specials. I don't think I've ever forgotten this movie because I've always watched Tim Allen when he was on what was that show he was on? The guy with the
Home
fence.
Improvement.
Home Improvement.
I
Right.
love that show.
Well, do you know why I love that show? Let's be honest. What's his face was on it?
Heidi? Oh no.
He was cute. He was really cute. Everyone loved him growing up.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yes, JTT.
Yeah.
I had his
one
like
of the good
poster
ones.
hanging in my room.
The other one's in jail somewhere right now. But yeah.
Who?
Brad.
Who's that?
The older brother.
He didn't stand out. It was all about JTT.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry,
It was
Brad.
like the Devon Sawa, whatever his last name was.
Brad, if you're listening right now,
Sorry. He was too old for me anyway at that time. So
JTT, he was everyone's favorite.
But Tim
Boys
Allen,
and girls alike.
I feel like Tim Allen was the cross between the family man, but then he also had that comedic vibe to him. So I know I love this movie best because I don't care what anybody says. I still believe in Santa. I 100% believe there is a spiritual making. And because think about it, when Christmas happens, everybody is nice. Everyone. Even if they're like the worst mood ever, everyone like just passes out presents. They're super excited. So there is a man up there sprinkling dust all over everyone. And everyone's like, ha, 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 ha. Like just like that. Like they're making that sound. Everyone's jolly. Not like that. That is the old lady who got hit by a car.
Wow.
And
R.I.P.
like she just got hit and she's flying in the air.
If you guys are listening, it's one thing, but you got to be watching to really get the vibe that's going on right now with Deana's high pitch.
It wasn't that high. It was more of like, okay, anyway.
Oh, high pitch.
No. Okay, we're going to continue. Someone over there needs a little help. Take a sip of water. Hydrate. Okay. No, but it was the whole vibe of if you didn't know the true story behind Santa, this painted the picture perfectly. It made it believable. It made it magical. And let me tell you something. Anyone can gain 45 pounds. I mean, lose 45 pounds in a week if you try your Ozempic.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they want to sponsor our show. We've got you.
I'm almost there. Send it my way.
I really hope that's not even. That's not
you
funny.
yelled at me. I know you yelled at me before about that. No, I'm totally kidding everyone.
Yeah, don't.
But you're right, Tim. Listen, Tim Allen was pretty much anywhere. I think Toy Story came out in '95, and the show Home Improvement kicked off. He already had somewhat of a career. I think, like you were right, he did some stand up and stuff like that. But man, this movie, along with the show continuing to rise in popularity, then Toy Story. Like he was the it person in like the mid 90s. But
he was a family man too. Like, I'm going to be honest. I love Jim Carrey and I always think about Liar Liar.
Yeah.
But nobody played a funny family guy as well as Tim Allen. I love Jim Carrey. Don't get me wrong, but
you're right.
Tim Allen, like he had that family guy ambiance when the sad moments hit.
Sure.
You fell in love with him. And then when there was a funny moment, you're like, oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
And you bring anything up about power tools. Oh
my God.
He starts growling, if you remember that.
I do. And I get a little nervous when he
For
did
all
that.
of our viewers and listeners who have no idea what Home Improvement is, I'm pretty sure there's a website.
Go Google it.
Something out there that you can probably watch it for free on. If you got Disney, I don't even know if it's on there. It probably is, to be completely honest. But
Home Improvement? You think it's on Disney? No, let's look. I don't even know.
You look for it real quick while I let you guys know a little bit here about the movie that we're watching today, which is 100% a holiday favorite for so many, including myself. So, if you're listening, I would say, and if you haven't yet, go grab your hot chocolate, a little coffee. If you drink a little coffee, your tea, some eggnog, get cozy. And, let's jump into this magical ride here of the Santa Claus on That Was Pretty Jolly. The Santa Claus came out on November 11th, 1994. So it'll be 30 years old on November 11th.
I found a fact. You ready?
Well, by the way, that's Veterans Day. Raw. Go ahead. What?
What happened to the Who?
We don't do Who.
Why?
That's Army.
You don't say hoorah?
No, we say ooh-rah.
Oh, whatever. Okay.
R.
So it's ooh?
Yeah.
Like ow.
Ooh-rah.
Ooh.
Yes. Ooh-rah. Yep.
Okay, anyway. Anyway, before I was really interrupted.
Ow!
Now you sound like Shakira.
No, that's
Do you remember that song?
Copy what you did. Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to interrupt this this broadcast to let you know that Home Improvement arrives on Netflix on February 1st, 2025. During that time, it will still be available to stream on Hulu, but on Netflix, February 1st, 2025.
Are you serious?
Swear to God, I'm reading it right now.
That's gonna make this show. Listen, we're going off on a tangent here, but I mean, it wouldn't be that was pretty jolly without one, right? If folks, if that was pretty jolly, which I do wish it does get somewhere really far. But if Home Improvement gets that Netflix love, everything that hits Netflix all of a sudden gets a second life. We've seen it with Full House. We've seen it with so many shows, so many. They always get a second like coming. I would love to see something like this. They're all still good except for.
Hey, but is JTT gonna come back? Like, how old? Isn't he my age? He's 22.
It doesn't matter. Look at Girl Meets World.
Oh, what's her face?
When they did that with yes.
She gave me a bad score in Say What Karaoke, so no.
Oh God, she's awesome though. She's nice.
Oh no, she wasn't the judge. Never mind. She was the host. Just kidding. He's 43 years old. He's older than us.
Bring him back. Look. Listen. They don't have to be
gorgeous.
The show doesn't have to be exactly what it used to be. It could be look at the French Prince. Did you see the Bel Air show?
I'm sorry. I'm googly eyed right now with JTT. Give me a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've lost Deana to JTT. She's looking at his old picture.
It's the jawline. Like, man has a jawline. Man. You know what it is too?
Let me tell you something about these jawlines in Hollywood.
Listen, what's his name?
Everyone gets them. They're cheap.
He is vibing right now. Like, I'm looking at a picture of him with the hair and the face and the jawline, like Heath Ledger. And I was in love with Heath Ledger. Yeah. Oh, what an attractive man. God rest his soul.
What a good looking dude. It's always those type that have problems the most, unfortunately.
You're hating. Oh, he's married? JTT, what happened?
Of course he is. He's like 66. Why wouldn't he?
He's 43.
Oh, man. He's freaking older than me.
Yeah. Who's his wife? We're gonna find her name out.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty JTT. Now that's what we're gonna call this show.
Yeah, it's not. That was pretty jolly. That was pretty JTT.
That was pretty JTT.
He's Portuguese.
I'm glad that our audience is getting hip to JTT as.
And he's a vegetarian.
I hope that his life gets resurrected, his career. And it's all thanks to us here on the show.
Back to our show.
Back to our normal programming.
That was pretty 90s.
That's a show.
Is it? Is it really?
I don't want to talk about that right now. Oh. There's a lot of stuff happening here that was pretty franchise. So
that was pretty beep.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. The movie stars, as I said before, Tim Allen as Scott Calvin, Judge Reinhold as Neil.
Reinhold.
By the way, I love Reinhold. I love.
Why?
Him. He's
Why are you so
obsessed? Actor. He's been on every film since I was a kid. Wendy Crewson as Laura, and David Krumholtz as Bernard the Elf. And I love Bernard.
Love
Bernard.
Love.
I mean,
he's a goodie. He's a
memorable actor.
He's an angry elf.
He's very angry, and he just cares for his elves around him. Deana, like you got to care for the people that work around you. Can't just be a D all the time. What?
Wow.
I wasn't.
I should have worn my Bruja shirt today.
We're PG here. Why would you do that? No.
Do what?
Tell me, how do you feel about watching the movie all over again? Did you rewatch it, or are you just going off like?
No, this is permanently embedded in my head, and I'm telling you, this is so crazy. I only watched this in December, and I started that with the kids. And I've always there are certain movies that I can watch all year round, like Nightmare Before Christmas, all year round. Yeah. But this movie is saved for December only. Like I will, even if it's on right now, I will not watch it. I will skip over it.
Yeah. And, Freeform and not really Hallmark. Hallmark kind of just does their own thing. But I think Freeform does such a great job of putting together these calendars for films, Christmas films to rewatch. And we're doing the same thing here. We're trying to we'll let you guys know what movies, the rundown, so you guys can watch them alongside with us. So if you guys are not following us on Instagram, that's pretty jolly on Instagram, and you guys can keep up with everything that we are showing on there. Now, anyway, let's talk about the Santa Claus. It's time.
You guys,
it's time.
I feel like
what?
There's like no facial expression in you tonight. You're just like, yeah, guys, you gotta watch the show, and it's gonna be.
There's always a facial expression on me.
I feel like you need to get smacked in the face to loosen up.
I'm very loose right now. I'm laughing at your jokes.
My eyes twitching. If people can't see, my eyes twitching right now.
All right, Scott Calvin. Let's talk about Scott Calvin. What a great opening to the film. He works in the toy business. He's doing his thing. I love the party that they're holding, and everyone's having a good time. Which, by the way, the gentleman who plays his dad, who also played the grandfather in what's the name of the show?
The show?
Oh yeah, I just completely went blank on that. Raymond. Everyone loves Raymond.
Oh, that's an oldie. Dang.
Yeah. If you guys don't remember, I can't remember his name, but if you look it up, Deana, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find it. He's such a great actor. He's another one, and he was up there in age.
Wait, what are they called?
1994.
Oh, I wrote ramen.
Everyone loves ramen. Yeah.
No, it's not good. It's too much sodium. Everyone. Oh, I can't spell. It's a rough night.
She can't spell. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Loves Raymond.
So we got, like I mentioned before, while she looks this up, we got Tim Allen, who's a workaholic. He's an executive at a toy company.
Oh, Peter Boyle, are you talking about?
Yes.
Oh, I have that in one of my slides.
Fun fact: he plays Father Time in part 2 and 3.
I think I saw that. But in the 2 it was an uncredited role, so he didn't get credit for it.
Yeah.
That's bananas. I mean, good for him, but I'm looking at it right now. He looks so old. Oh.
He does. Even back then, I'm like, oh my God, why? This man was just one age my entire lifetime of seeing him on television. I never saw anything where he actually looked younger, which is kind of crazy. But yes, I just wanted to put that out there. We have him in here he's a legend on his own. I loved him in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Ramen.
And, Everyone Loves Ramen. That's a brand new one. Written and
that was pretty ramen.
Jesus Christ. Might as well start putting all the trademarks now.
Yes.
As she's speaking.
We need to reach out to who.
Yeah, we know who to reach out to.
We need to trademark them.
Oh God. Now Tim Allen.
He
has a young son in this film, who as time passes by, I mean, he ages, by the way. If you guys have been watching, we'll talk, hopefully, if there's a second season of this, we'll talk about the Santa Claus 2, which I think like 6 years passed by. And it's crazy to see him go from this little kid in this movie to like an actual adult in part 2. I know, but it's kind of crazy when you look at time, the way time passes by in these films. It's kind of nuts. As I mentioned, he's divorced. His ex-wife is remarried to this gentleman called Neil. There's so much tension in his damn life with the family.
Sad.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have time. I mean, he tries to make time for his kid, and he tries to make time. Like you see what happens when he tries to go to create a holiday dinner for his son. He burns it and just to a crisp.
Wow.
And then they go out to they go out into the town to try to get dinner and whatnot. Kind of sad, right? To kind of see this, like, that's your youngest son and you kind of like your brain's elsewhere. You don't want to like really spend time, or does he really want to spend time? What's your take on that?
I think it's a catch-22. I think he wants to be a good dad, but he also wants to, as any person in the world today, wants to be great at their job, but he's missing the part where I think a lot of people today miss it, that family first. Like he assumes, and I think people assume, little kids always be little kids always be there. And I think that kind of gets fully captivated in this film where it's like you're missing the part that matters most. You know, it's always that, give me a second, hold on. And it's like, no. Like now, your job will replace you the next day.
Oh, that's so true.
Put it in perspective. I'm sorry.
Sad.
I'm sorry to hear you're sad.
I think about my 24-year-old and a 21-year-old. Like life went that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like life went that quickly.
That's
and
insane.
I look at pictures.
24
and 21.
What?
And I look at pictures of,
I'm only 25.
Could have been my daughter.
No. No. I would have ran away from you and your wife. No.
I ran away from. Listen.
That was pretty divorced. Next year on the podcast. Just two friends who recently went through a divorce talking all about it and how their exes sucked. Dude.
Sidetrack here. Here we go again.
Welcome to That Was Pretty Jolly with a hook of a jingle and a tangent.
We would 100%. I mean, what a show that would be, by the way.
That was pretty. What would you? Not that was pretty, but that was pretty divorced. No, it has like.
No, it would be something along the lines. That was pretty close, and then you do this.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. There has no wait. That was pretty deadly. The divorce edition. That was pretty tragic. Yeah. That was pretty long. Like
no, tragic would indicate that it was like a sad moment, and it was actually a happy moment.
Mine was. Your divorce wasn't happy? I mean, your divorce was happy?
Oh, dude.
Mine wasn't.
We'll get into it. Wasn't happy in the sense, oh my God, we were totally like off script here. But it wasn't happy in the sense that like, and this ties into the movie because he's divorced.
It does. That's why we're talking about it.
It wasn't happy because I suffered a lot not seeing my kids every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I unfortunately, you know, I left the place that we were at and I went to go elsewhere so that, you know, my kids have a place and she has a place. Like, why would I say get out, even though it's under my name? Stay there. So I suffered a lot, like not seeing the kids. You know, my youngest was only 1 year old. You know, they were 4 and 1. So it was just like, it was a hard time. Yeah. So I suffered a ton in that sense. Other than that, that was pretty happy.
That was pretty erasable. Sponsored by Pink Eraser.
Sponsored by Whiteout.
No, Pink Eraser, because you don't erase that stuff. Whiteout, you could chip it away. You don't want to see that. You just want to.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yuck. We get to know that when poor Tim Allen comes back home with his son, you know, Christmas is the next day. Charlie,
favorite
that's
part.
the kid's name, doesn't look so happy. He doesn't. He's not happy.
That's my favorite.
He wants to go home. He wants to go home. But like he's even asking, like, you know, how long before I gotta go home? You know, like what's happening here? And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. An unexpected event happens. Deana, what's that unexpected event?
Thump. I can't do it. Like thump. There was a big thump, and it wasn't a burglar on the roof.
Oh, burglars go through the roof.
Yeah. You never heard about that?
No.
You've never heard about the infamous guy who broke through like someone's store, or I forget it was a house or a store, fell down the chimney and then sued the owners?
Jesus.
Yes.
No.
Well, this dude didn't sue. This dude was trying to deliver the packages, Mr.
The goods.
Ho man. And Tim Allen, who, not that he doesn't believe, but I guess he doesn't believe. And he's like, what was that noise? Someone's out there. And he startles Santa. Santa slips, falls, and he's gone. But there was a card.
Tell us about this card, Deana. I'm intrigued.
So it was your normal business card, and on the front, Santa Claus. Flippity over, and it says, I forgot verbatim, but basically if Santa was to, you know, die. Ooh, if Santa was no longer to be there, he has to put on this red suit, go to the reindeers, and they will know exactly what to do. But little did Tim Allen know what would happen when he put that suit on.
I love that. This is definitely one
It's
of
the
my
best
favorite
part.
scenes.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it is.
yes.
He accidentally, obviously, causes Santa to fall when he goes out of the house. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Worst.
You know, and boom, he puts on the Santa suit, and I mean, we're off to the races.
But wasn't there something else before it? Like if
Well, that's the Santa Claus, and that was around the card, which he couldn't read until he actually got to the North
yeah, but
Pole.
what did it say up top? Like if something should happen, if something should happen
right,
to
yeah.
me, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yes. Put on the suit. The reindeer will know what to do.
You got the hiccup.
That's what it said.
Okay.
You okay?
No, I got hiccup.
You hiccuping?
I don't burp. I hiccup. It's weird.
Oh. This is interesting. I've known you for almost like 20 years. How the hell did I not know you don't?
Yeah, I don't burp. I hiccup.
You've burped before in front of me, dude.
If I drink soda, because I never drink soda. So I don't drink carbonated.
Yes.
Like if we went and had like Sprite, like I would get like Sprite with like our salads.
I remember, my friends, you belched one and I was just like, wow. That was like a 6.0 on the Richter scale. Like it literally shook the vitamin.
Maybe that was something coming out of your rear end anyway.
Nah, dude, that was pretty loud.
I never drop dusted around you though. I was like, I don't know if I should do that.
That's all right.
No.
Whatever. Who cares? We go to
that was pretty smelly.
That was pretty smelly. Maybe you did. Who knows?
No, I didn't, because I would have to run away as fast as I can.
I'm gonna have to like really think back now.
I've never farted. It's funny.
That's funny as hell.
What are you, 5? I say fart and you're like,
no, I was drinking water before and I was already choking because anyway. Scott and Charlie get whisked away to the North Pole, where Scott learns that by putting on the suit, he has unwittingly agreed to take over the Santa Claus. The elves, which by the way is led by Bernard, helps explain the Santa Claus to him. I thought that for this time, for 1994, the set design, the green screen effects, everything was pretty good for this film. It didn't feel cheap or phoned in. I thought I was like, wow, this looks really good.
Yeah, Santa's Workshop was awesome.
Oh my God, it was. Yeah.
And it wasn't small. It was big. Not like, in the Elf.
Yeah, it was big. The design of the North Pole was inspired by a classic Christmas storybook, by the way. It had a mix of both old school and new modern elements for what modern was in 1994, which you can kind of see like the way the entire plan was put together. Like they have computers and they have like, LED lighting, not really LED, but whatever. But that didn't exist back then. And if it did, it was probably like $1,000 per bulb.
Jesus.
Yeah. So again, the North Pole, everything, Santa's Workshop looks really cool. It's really fun to see his interaction with all the elves. He's pissed. He's like, I need to get home. Charlie's going off on his own, doing his own thing. And they finally sit him down to kind of talk about it. He's still trying to figure it out. Like, how is this even happening? How would you take this?
Me, if I was to be Santa Claus?
Yeah, like what if you obviously, like, first of all, you're being abducted, not at your will, to kind of go to a strange place in the middle of nowhere, and now you're like the head honcho of a holiday.
I honestly think that would be the best thing ever.
Really? I like that. I like that you said that because
not the gaining all that weight. Like, no.
Yeah, but the gaining and the weight goes on and off. It's okay. You're okay all year round until December. It's
not okay for your heart,
He's Santa
But
Claus.
I do like cookies. Here's the problem. I'd be the first lactose intolerant Santa Claus. Unless Dairy Pill is going to hook it up 24/7, I will have an issue.
I think that, looking ahead, I don't know if you ever saw the show, The Santa Clauses. Did you ever see that?
No.
Last year, they came out with the Santa Clauses. You didn't see that?
The Santa Claus. I think we talked about this.
It was 10 episodes. It was with Tim Allen.
Really?
And he has to go off and people take over as Santa Claus for him.
Oh, I think I saw this.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was cute. It was nice.
It was cute.
It was cute.
I
What
mean,
other word should I use?
Tim Allen
It
wasn't
was
even supposed to be in this movie, right?
It was incredible. No, tell me about it.
So Disney actually did not want Tim Allen as the main role because he was a TV star, not a movie star.
Really?
So I think it was, who is it? Tom Hanks, Mel Gibson, and Bill Murray were people that were considered, but Tim wound up winning. So this was actually his first big role in a movie.
1994. I would have to think that Tom was probably filming Forrest Gump.
Maybe.
I could be 100% wrong on that.
I can't see Tom Hanks though being.
I know, no, and listen, we're gonna get into another film.
Bill Murray, yes. Bill Murray, yes.
Tom Hanks was in, but a Christmas film. But yeah, no, I don't either. I don't. Tim was it. Tim was it.
You don't think Bill Murray could do it? Bill Murray's funny.
Yes, Bill Murray. Yes, but I think at that time,
not Mel Gibson.
What was Bill doing?
Mel Gibson is forever. What's that movie he was in?
Jesus Christ Superstar. No.
Mel Gibson. No, with the guns and the cars.
Die Hard. Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. There we go. Lethal Weapon.
Die Hard. Another Christmas film.
No, it's not.
Scott initially refuses to accept his new role, as we mentioned before, but over the next year, his physical appearance begins to change. He gains weight. He grows that beard that just won't go away every time he shaves it.
Yeah.
His hair starts turning white.
Jiggly belly.
He has the jiggly belly, and he's at the doctor. He's like, whoosh, trying to show him, look at this, and he's shaking his belly at him. Great prosthetics, by the way. Like, gosh, I mean, this whole film was done pretty well. And he finally kind of just gives into it. He's trying to lose the weight. He can't. He goes to work and he's making like a spectacle of himself. I don't know if you remember in the meeting, the big board meeting where he's like, they're about to have lunch and he orders everything in the damn menu. They got to wait for him to finish eating. He's knows what elves want, so he's getting into an argument with one of the guys who's trying to like pitch this tank with Santa on. He's like, why would Santa drive a tank?
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, dude. He's just so good. Then he finally gets the lists. Remember that scene where he finally they come and bring the naughty and nice list to his house, and is dropped off by FedEx, and there's like 5 FedEx trucks. And it's all good. There's 5, and she's like touching the screen. If you guys are not watching, he has this list and he knows everyone. Like he knows he's walking down the street and he's like, oh, Lucy, oh, very nice. And then the nice lady passing by, oh, Veronica, very nice. And she's like, you wish, fat boy.
Oh,
I don't think that's what she said, but I think somewhere along the lines.
I don't like that F word. I say fluffy.
Yeah, I mean,
fluffy. You could say it.
2024, so we have to say fluffy.
Right? Fluffy.
Yeah, I think again, fluffy.
That was pretty fluffy.
Tim Allen gained 60 pounds to film some of the scenes. A lot. Though much of his transformation was aided by, like we said, makeup and prosthetics, but that's crazy. 60 pounds on a body.
That's pregnancy weight. That's what some people gain. Yeah.
And in acting, it's hard.
Yeah.
But you know what? If all you're doing is just, and not saying that acting is hard, but if this is your job, then you can train to gain it and you can train to take it off. It's not like you have to report to the office 9 to 5 and then go off to the gym for another 2 hours, So yeah.
Did it say how he gained the weight? Like,
no, I just got the info
or?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's 1994. A lot of McDonald's and Burger King.
Oh, that's
KFC,
gross.
maybe.
I hope not.
Now the transformation becomes more obvious with his ex-wife and her husband Neil. They become extremely concerned and try to restrict his visitations with Charlie. This really broke my heart, thinking that he's delusional. I remember the court scene struck a chord with me because I remember going to mediation and court hearings and stuff like that, and that really sucked. And that kind of like hit me a little bit. I was like, oh man, because Charlie believes in it, obviously for his reasonings, because he was there with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is like, yo, I think this man's crazy.
Yeah.
What do we do here? It's very hard Deana, if you were to be put in this position in the movie, you're now the ex-wife. How would you feel if you saw your ex-husband looking jolly, fluffy, and your son's like, hey, he's really Santa. Like, I mean, like, God, Charlie played a good role, man, because he got me. He was like, no, please.
I think I know
me.
why her character reacted the way she did, because she was probably thinking that he's trying to use that as a ploy for the son's sake, like to make him think he's a good dad, or to just, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, because he didn't really have the best qualities. Like he wasn't always there for his son. So in mom's eyes, she's like, no, you're just doing this to gain more attention for him. You want him to love you more. This is not how you prove love to a child. So I can see her from that perspective. But I mean, if someone were to come up to me and be like, yeah, he's Santa Claus, I probably would be a little concerned too, you know?
And Neil didn't really help, because Neil was the psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And, he's like, let's talk about this. Why don't you sit down right here, Scott? Scott Calvin. And you're not really Santa Claus. And that's a fictional character. I'm like, shut the f up, bro. Like, I just wanted to deck him right there. Like, listen,
tell us how you really feel.
I got along very well with my ex-wife's husband. He's, like, I never had a problem.
I know him.
Yeah, I know you do, but like to like
Awkward.
Really see this, see this scene, it pissed me off. How do you think the film portrayed the tension between Scott, Laura, and Neil, like the parents? How do you think did that come off as? I felt this, so it felt real, like realistic to me. Did you feel the same way?
I didn't have that type of connection because, yes, I went through a divorce, but I didn't have kids. So there was none of that like connection that you're feeling. But it was frustrating because I think about if I did have kids when I get divorced, like the last thing you want is somebody who's the new person kind of, let me help fix you. Go fly a kite. Go fly a kite.
She's putting it nicely, by the way. Go fly a kite.
Slow as dirt.
During a thunderstorm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say it expressionless like in the beginning of the show. In a thunderstorm.
No, you laughed. You can't laugh after.
I know. I'm sorry. Damn it.
Try it again.
I'm having a good time here with you.
Try it again. Try it again.
Go fly a kite in a thunderstorm.
You look constipated. Do you have to poop?
That was pretty constipating.
Do you have to poop?
No, I don't.
You have a poop face.
I am like, well, yeah, during that.
He didn't even breathe. He was like,
that's called
in a
actually.
Thunderstorm.
Let me just be honest with you.
You have to poop?
No.
Okay. You have diarrhea?
You're so dumb. No, none of those.
You have to fart?
The reason why it sounded like I wasn't breathing is
he's holding onto the chair. He's holding onto the chair. He's grabbing. It is he is white knuckling that chair, ladies and gentlemen. If you cannot see this, I will give you a play-by-play. He pooped his pants. He pooped his pants. He pooped his pants.
You would know. I would just tell you straight up. I gotta walk out.
I really hope you never poop your pants on.
I have never. At least not in front of you.
Never? You've never pooped your pants?
I think when I was a kid in my diaper, yeah.
You never had you never sharted or had an accident?
No. Yes, probably like overseas. We were trying to find a freaking hole to like poop in.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the reality of being deployed in a war zone. You're not going to just say, "Excuse me, everyone. Would you mind holding my M16 as I go to the toilet right over here?"
Wait, you had to hold your gun while pooping?
You have to live with everything that you have.
So where do you poop?
In holes.
So you dug a hole like a dog and you pooped?
Yes.
Did you put the hole back together?
Yes, you have to obviously cover it. You don't leave the landmines open.
It's probably good for the soil.
Now, let me tell you this.
Did you bring seeds to plant?
This is probably the most serious part, is the fact that this is that was a normal occurrence, was making these latrines, these bathrooms out in the middle of nowhere, is they go from holes to burn pits. And these burn pits have now caused Marines and other people in the service to have long-term problems like cancer and everything else. So
What do
unfortunately,
you mean
I know we
burn
laugh about it.
pits?
Burn pits, that's where you basically throw all the trash and the poop and everything and you burn it.
Where you sleep
You
next to it?
a lot of people. Yeah, it's not far from you. Your bathroom is like what, maybe 30 yards away from you. Everything has to stay close. Remember, you're in a war zone. You can't just say, "Hey, I'll be right back." Get blown up by a mortar. This freaking show took a damn turn.
That was pretty tangent.
That was pretty military. Rah.
Hoorah!
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 Like
Bless your heart.
Oh, jeez.
Get back in your cell.
Jesus
Name
Christ.
that movie.
What is it? Say it again.
You get back in your cell.
I don't know.
Mrs.
What movie is that?
Doubtfire. Oh, no.
Oh, my God, Mrs. Doubtfire. Is that a Christmas film? Should we cover that?
I think, wait, does it happen at Christmas?
No, it doesn't.
No.
I mean, you have the Google machine in front of you.
I don't feel like typing. My hands hurt.
I was going to say the reason why you probably couldn't even hear me breathing before was because of this incredible mic here. I want to thank my friends over at Beacon. If you guys don't know who they are, make sure you go check them out, beacn.com.
I don't.
You will?
Maybe.
You will. I love Beacon. Trust me.
Well, right now, while I wait, I'm rocking an AKG. Her name is Ella.
I've been working alongside with them for a while, and I've been very blessed to not only test some of their products, but I mean, they sent me this mic and the mixer and stuff. So, I mean,
Let me hear it. Papa P.
P.
No, Papa P.
Oh, Papa P.
Like, no, blow air when you pop a P. You don't know what Papa P means?
I'm blowing. Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear a little bit. What are you, like freaking Jason? Yeah.
And that's
Wrong
reserved
podcast.
for another show. Yeah.
That's the wrong podcast.
You might want to go check out Freddie Prinze Jr. and John Lee Brody on That Was Pretty Scary.
It needs to be scarier.
Go check out Freddie Prinze Jr., John Lee Brody. That was pretty scary.
No. But let me turn around so like the killer can get me faster.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Chucky. Oh no! Stop.
I ain't playing with that. I have a fear with dolls coming to life.
I'm sorry. There's a doll directly behind you, and I just got freaked out. I'm not gonna lie.
They're my friends. No. They are my friends.
No, and he strangles you.
Frosty.
No.
And Elf himself.
He's coming. Friends. He's gonna strangle you.
Ain't no one coming. Scott finally embraces his role as Santa Claus with the help of Charlie. They deliver presents on Christmas Eve, proving to everyone, including the skeptics like Neil, that Santa is real. Now, Neil kind of just like lost it. He was staring at him. Remember that scene when, the cops come into the house and, they arrest him, but he comes back from the jail because the little elves with attitude go and break him out of jail. Do you remember them? The little elf SWAT team?
No. Oh, yes. They wrap the guy around in a chair and they spin him around.
Yes, I do. So
took a minute.
They break him out. They bring him back to the house. And by the way, they just side quest here. Comet is the second star of the show here of this movie. Comet is incredible. No one understands him except for Tim. And he's always farting. He loves chocolate.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if you remember that.
Kind of want to look that up. That's a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe he's lactose intolerant.
Maybe, but he's funny. He's another one. I think that they try to keep the candy away from him and when he's in the stables. But I'm
looking it up. Hold on.
Yeah, maybe.
Comet, can you move anything? When does he fart?
He's always farting, isn't he?
Oh, it was playing in my ear.
Well, we didn't hear it, thank God, because then that was pretty copyrighted.
It's
Um, but anyway, but he comes. They bring him. He comes back, and they're Neil. Like everyone's worried. The wife, Neil's there, and Neil notices, oh my God, you're really Santa Claus. And he's like hugging him, and like there's so much love going on there. Like
probably deprived as a kid.
Yes. At that moment in time, you can feel like everything just goes away. Like who he was, and the kid in him comes back. And it was nice to see that, because he's very uptight, always trying to use science and whatever verbiage, whatever psychologists use to kind of like break you down and try to like tell you what to do. And I love that was stripped away there at the end. And like I mentioned before, she lets Charlie go off with him to go deliver presents, which was pretty cool. It was a good scene. The heartwarming conclusion to all this is that, it brings Scott and Charlie together. I think it left everyone feeling good, a good holiday message about family and belief, about believing. Do you feel the same way about that?
I mean, yeah, the minute the wife broke down and she was crying, she goes, "You really are Santa." It's like, I think once you see adults feeling that same emotion as a kid, that's where it's like, okay, this is a goodie. Yeah.
It was, I loved it. Before we close out this episode, tell me a little bit, how'd you feel about the film, basically 30 years later?
Like I said, this is something that religiously we'll watch with the kids once Christmas comes, especially once they get older. And there's always that like feeling of, is it real? And obviously you can't make your kids believe forever, but I want them to believe in the whole magic of it, right? Because I don't care what anyone says. The magic of Christmas lies in family, lies in beliefs, lies in forgiveness, just overlooking things sometimes. And I feel like this movie captivates it, even if it's not from a Santa Claus perspective. It just has that whole ambiance.
Sure.
And that's why this movie, like we watch in December, it is a goodie. It's one of those things where we're like, oh my God. And then I'll probably tell my kids this year that James is Santa Claus. So.
Oh God.
I'll see how they respond. But like we'll just stuff his belly with some pillows and I'll get him like a beard.
Ah, God. God, I don't even want to know what's going to happen then. Kids,
and then Gracie's going to be the reindeer.
Man. Oh, Jesus.
Dog.
Listen, everyone, the movie was made on a budget of $22 million, which no movie nowadays gets made for anywhere near that. Like, movies have quadrupled in price, but it did gross $189 million worldwide, making it a huge financial success. It opened up second at the box office. But word from what I see here, word of mouth and the holiday season kept it in theaters way deeper because it came out on November 11th. Usually movies are in the theater for about a month, maybe.
Yeah.
So they kept it in theaters up to the new year. And this was Tim Allen's first, like you mentioned before, movie role, coming off the success of Home Improvement. And during the same time, during the same week the movie opened, Home Improvement was the top rated TV show on television. And
so I wonder if it's going to have a flip when Home Improvement comes on Netflix. Are they going to also put on the Santa Claus and then they'll have a,
And his autobiography was one of the best on the bestsellers list.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was a triple success for Allen at the time. That I told you, man, he was on top of the world at that point. Now, like you mentioned, if it's already on Hulu and people are watching it, it's not on Disney Plus. You said, right? It's not.
No, it did say it was, but I have an account. I didn't see it unless I'm.
If you want to check, you want to check real quick. So the thing is, more people have Netflix than they do have Disney Plus. So if this is something where it comes up, the Santa Claus movie, I don't know if it's playing on Netflix. I know that obviously Disney owns it, so all three plus the television show are on there.
No, February 1st of 2025.
Right.
For
Home
Improvement. That's Home Improvement. Oh, you're talking about the Santa Claus. Okay.
The actual movie, yeah.
Oh, do I know my password for this?
a little more information at the time of actually, if you were to just put Home Improvement on Google, it'll tell you where it plays. Like it'll tell you what.
No, but I want to look up Santa Claus or Home Improvement?
Home Improvement. We want to know if Home Improvement is on Disney Plus. And I don't think the Santa Claus is on Disney on Netflix. I could be wrong. Now, at the time of this release, the Santa Claus received a lot of positive reviews from critics and audiences. What happened?
It is. It's on Disney Plus.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, but a lot more people probably get 200 plus million people are going to get
8 seasons too.
The whole thing.
8 seasons.
Commercial free, my friends.
Oh, okay.
I think it's time that we do a rewatch pod of Home Improvement. That was pretty homey.
Nope.
Well,
gotta fix that.
You mentioned something. Yeah, that's true. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right. Well, now.
That was pretty wrong.
Yeah. Do you think that the Santa Claus stands out as a classic Christmas film?
Yes.
How does it compare to other classics from the 90s like Home Alone and Jingle All the Way?
So my opinion, it's funny that Disney did not want to pick Tim Allen because he's not a movie star. I think that's what made the movie. I know people say TV stars and movie stars aren't different, but there's definitely a difference, in my opinion, that I see in them, in their way they act and the way they approach things. Sometimes I believe TV stars, and then they go into a movie, they don't overact. Tim Allen is so natural in what he does. I almost feel like when you meet him, that's who he is in person.
Yeah.
So like his character, when he just plays his character, obviously he finds the character, like whatever their perspective and their personality is. But I feel like if you look at Tim Allen, that's who he is in real life. So he's more relatable. Whereas movie stars, I don't know. I feel like they're just, you can't relate too much to them. So for me, it made the movie more believable, more like I wanted to watch it more. I could relate to it more. It just had that homey, and there we end, Home Improvement. It had that homey vibe to it. That was pretty homey.
It catches on, friends. That was pretty homey.
No, because I always say homey. Like when I talk about food, I love homey food. Like mashed potatoes, yes.
Mashed taters and the collard greens. Pretty damn good. What? So we eat down here.
You do not.
I do not.
You eat rice and beans. Arroz.
I love rice and beans.
Con pollo.
Tim Allen was,
Hello.
He had a past. He was arrested for
spit it out, kid.
Possession of something years before his acting career took off, which Disney traditionally doesn't work with, people with records, quote unquote. But that didn't seem to, take away from him being the Santa Claus of this film. Do you think that Scott Calvin is the best version of Santa Claus in film history, or do you think that there's another person out there?
Oh man,
I can't even bring in Miracle on 34th Street either, because that's like the holy grail.
I don't know. Who else would you compare him to?
It's hard. What true Christmas film besides Scott Calvin, the character who played Santa Claus, right? I
can't even think.
I have not.
All I have popping in my head though is the Grinch. I don't know why.
Well, he's not. Yeah.
And Jack Skellington.
No, not those guys.
Yeah, I can't. I can't think of somebody else.
How many? And we finally got to the point here where, friends, we're going to give you our feeling, our rating system here, which is the almighty candy canes. Love me some candy canes.
I'm in between 2 scores right now.
All right, I'm going to let Deana go first because Deana's in between. So go ahead, Deana. Tell us your in-betweenness.
Okay, so I think... I'm going to give it... Oh, come on. I don't know what to do. I'm between a 4 and a 4.5.
Oh.
The reason behind it is, listen, a 5 is perfection for me. Everyone knows like Nightmare Before Christmas, that's going to get a 5. Home Alone, those are 5s. I think I'll stick with a 4 because that's still pretty high. It captivates that family loving, ambiance. It has some of the comedy to it, but I can't put it that close to my first place loves. So I'm going to say 4 candy cans. 4 candy cans. 4.
I too am going to give it 4 candy canes because it wasn't nearly as perfect as I wanted it to be, in the sense of like, it was a very traditional Christmas film, right? Because there was a lot of stuff going on that are not normal in a Christmas film. And that becomes a theme here. We've already done 4 Christmases and things like that are not normal things that people go through in Christmas, because everyone thinks Christmas is bright and beautiful and everything's happy. But there's always stuff like this, divorces and,
I appreciate they did that though.
Yeah. So I give it 4. I give it 4. I think Tim Allen was incredible. I think the cast was really good. We do know that it spawned the rest of the movies. It had huge success.
There was a trilogy, right? So it's 3.
3, with Martin Short, and then the show. Almost 30 years later, we get a show. It's insane. So it did really well. I really enjoyed it. Big shout out to my friends over at G Fuel as well, who have sponsored the show here. Make sure you check them out. You can save yourself 20% off anything at gfuel.com by using the keyword or code word press record, and save some money, get some drinks, and make me a millionaire. The more you buy, the more I get.
No, you gotta say it more powerful. G Fuel, thank you so much. Use code press record. That's PRESSRECORD. Press
I can't
record.
spell. I can't do math. I will not try any of that. But I'm glad you're here to do it for me.
I could do a fun accent. Okay, everyone, listen.
Oh no!
We want to thank G Fuel, like OMG. G Fuel, like a G Fuel on a G Fuel. And if you want to save some moolah, because everyone loves to save money, you can use code press record. Love that for us. Well, not for me. It's not for me. But press record. Isn't that so cute? It's cute.
Wow.
Cool.
Jesus H. Christ and Santa Claus, the Holy Mary. Deana, where can people follow you?
You can hit me up on the Instagram. I'm going to do ready, the radio voice, ready? You can find me on Instagram. It's thequeenbuzz.com, thequeenbuzz.com. I also, too, have a podcast. The first one's called 4.0 in Life, where we just ace life all the time. And also on Patreon, Serve and Spill. Go to patreon.com/serve and spill with me and my friend Christina as we serve it up hot, spicy, yummy, delicious, and spill it all over.
That could 100% be another type of show. You can find me at Alexis Cardoza on Instagram.
Alexis Cardoza 92.3.
You can listen. I'm about to delete my Twitter, so if you want to see some craziness go down in there where I just really piss people off, you can go check out _Alexis Cardoza. It might be deleted by the time this comes out.
Just go from the Instagram. Lead with your Instagram.
As a matter of fact, I already said that. So in my Instagram,
but I was talking over you.
Oh, okay, cool. Hit the link in bio on Instagram and you can find me and find all of the things that you guys can save money on and everything else that I can help you out with as well. Deana, thank you so much for coming on here today, which you have no choice. Got you here. Ring the bell. Do you ring my bell?